Hiya!
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit Podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
And we're glad to have you today. Look, we're in the same room.
Wow. Oh gosh.
It's Dammy. She's here. She's home for spring break. She literally got home like an hour ago. And we were like, okay, podcast. So today is not Thursday because it's Friday. Except for when you watch this, it's Saturday or later, whatever. Today is Friday, the 15th of March, 2019, and this is episode 336. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys, to all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Dammy's not normally in the room with me. Normally we're doing this technology because she's away at college, but she's here today and next week too. Dammy. Welcome. Hope you enjoyed the show. We had somebody introduce themselves this week.
Yes.
She has been, what's the word? Lurking? Yeah, lurking. But she won a prize last week. Mm-hmm. So, Dammy, why don't you tell us who she is?
Emily, who is Elsa and M from New York.
Welcome. Thanks for introducing yourself. And congratulations on winning. Oh, by the way, 3 people still haven't claimed their prize for the Winter Wonderland owl. So if you entered, watch last week's. Dammy, so if somebody's not a member of our group, what should they do and why?
You should join our group on Ravelry and introduce yourself in our introductions thread, because you'll get a shout out on our next episode and be able to participate in all our owls and giveaways.
That's right. Well, we've got quite a bit of stuff to talk about, and it's so much fun, more fun with us in the same room. So we're going to get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
Dammy, would you like to talk about anything?
I have not had time to work on my straightforward Mitzvah Monet jogger on US 3's 2.25mm needles, whose yarn is Penguin Soup Emperor Sock in the Baker colorway, because it's been finals week.
You had your last final this morning.
Yes.
And you still have, how much papers do you still have due?
I need to finish writing one and then edit another.
Before midnight? You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, and you'll get some knitting done this week while you're home too.
Yes.
Maybe you'll finish them. That would be awesome.
Don't get your hopes that high.
All right, do you want to talk about anything else?
No.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to tell you, because somebody's going to ask otherwise. This is my Neon Beast shawl. It's a pattern by Vera Valimaki, and the gray and the yellowy green is Rainbow Heirloom, and the pink is...
Don't look at me.
It was a birthday gift. Even curses. Madeline Tosh. So, just in case you want to know, I love it. It's massive, huge, and it's very cuddly. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So, okay, so what's on my needles? First up on my needles is my 10 Stitch Zigzag Blanket, which is a free pattern by Frankie Brown. It's on US 4's 3.5mm needles. I finished stripe number 64, which was Malabrio yarn sock in the Fresco Iseko colorway. That puts me 91% done with the blanket. And I've started the 65th stripe, which is Premier Yarn Serenity Sock Prints in the very confusingly named Purple Spice colorway. Because it's not purple, it's kind of a red. I don't know. That's what it is. And then in my cute Belle bag that Dammy's getting to see in person for the first time. Very cute, right? I'm working on the 3rd pair of socks for my friend Mel. She is the one that took the photographs for our Tickled Pink book, and I'm paying her in socks. So, this is my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, and I'm on US 1.5, 2.5mm needles, and I'm using Patton's Croix socks in the Clover Colors colorway. So, it's kind of a dark rainbow. And can I just say how much I have missed knitting plain vanilla socks on my Zoom Zoom needles. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the screen. No, it's not showing up. So I was knitting these at Mel's house the other day. And knitting, and I'm like, there looks like there's sparkle in this. There's not sparkle in this yarn. And I'm like looking and looking, and I try to figure out what. The inside of my bag, which is pink glitter. Glitter is coming off on the socks. It's okay. Mel said it's fine. We're all good. Then I am working on my favorite murder mystery wrap pattern on US 2.5 3mm needles and US 4 3.5mm needles in Suburban Stitcher sock in the Triflers Need Not Apply colorway. And I have finished the entire first panel. And now I have to knit an identical second panel, which I've talked about before. I didn't want to knit both of them at the same time like my testers are doing, because as I designed, I had to frog stuff and do different things. So last night I did the epically long cast on, thank goodness for a British procedural crime drama show that kept me entertained while I did the cast on. And then the final thing on my needles is the replacement baby blanket for my nephew, Waylon. This is the Malt pattern by Tin Can Knits that I have modified on US 8's 5mm needles, and it's Lion Brand Heartland yarn in the Glacier Bay and Kings Canyon colorway.
Do you want me to just knit on this for you?
You can if you want to. So there. So right here where the kitty is, that's how much I've knit since last week. And if I keep going doing 3 ridges, so 6 rows a day, I believe I'll be done by the end of next week. It's just all garter stitch. I think you actually knit some on the previous baby blanket for him.
Did.
So this makes it very special that he'll get a blanket with that both of us have knit on.
This is so weird.
Why is it so weird?
Just the cable.
What do you mean the cable's weird?
The cable, like it's short.
It is. I didn't want to use a longer one because I was already using a longer one for something else, and so it made it work. So, look, Dammy's knitting.
Wow.
And that is everything that's on my needles, which means there are some FOs in the house to show you.
And now we're going to talk about her finished projects.
Yes, because I have 2. Guess what? Dammy's belated Christmas socks are done.
Wow. And now it's getting to the season where it's getting too warm to wear wool socks.
Unless you have shorty socks, but these will be ready for Christmas for you. So these are my French Vanilla Cappuccino sock pattern, incorporating the Hermione and Crookshanks pattern by Sandra C. I did this on US 1.5 2.5mm needles and US 2.5 3mm needles. The striping is West Yorkshire Spinner's signature 4-ply in the Fairy Lights colorway, and the cat is Vitellana Dream in the Tapenade colorway. Now I told Dammy I cannot guarantee. I mean, can you see that it's like
it looks fine,
fairly loose gauge at some points, but you can actually see the cat pretty good here on the camera.
Meow. And
there's 4 of them, and it will go over your heel because I kept trying it on because she just has a very, very smaller, very, very little smaller foot than I do.
I have a slightly smaller.
Slightly. This is why it's good for her to be here, because she can read my mind. So, yes, I have not taken photographs of these because they were blocking, and so I need to do that. And then you can have them.
If you look at it from one angle, it looks like the cat's chest isn't the cat's chest, but the bottom part of the jaw, and so the cat is just screaming.
I see what you're saying. Yes. And I mean, you have to be careful because these, if you don't knit loose enough, it'll make a very tight cuff, but I love the back and forth of the colors. I wish I had done, I did 1 row of the self-striping above the cat, but I wish I had done a couple more in knit stitch. It just didn't stockinette in the round before I started the cuff, just to kind of give it a little more break between the top of the cat's head and the cuff. So yay, these are done. The other thing I finished is my weekly preemie hat. This is number 10 for the year. It's from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can find on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn, this variegated and the pom-pom, is Premier Yarn's Serenity Sock Prints in the chili colorway, and then the gray is Red Heart Soft in the light gray heather colorway. Very, very cute. So, number 10 for the year, all done. So that is everything I have finished. So we do have some yummies to talk about. So let's move on. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are yummies, Tammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things, things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies.
You have me to thank for these.
But I'm the one that told you about the sale.
Well, I'm the one that printed them for you,
I know.
so they would be beautiful.
So one of our favorite illustrators, Carrot Top Paper Shop, her tagline is "Be the heroine of your life." She's on Etsy. The link is in the show notes. She had a special sale for newsletter subscribers where if you bought a certain amount of dollars of stuff, you would get a free 5x7 print. So Dammy and I bought digital downloads. So first up, it's okay, I'll put it over here. First up, we have this, and it's got a Laura Ingalls Wilder quote, "I am beginning to learn that it is the sweet, simple things of life which are the real ones after all."
If you say all the quotes, we will be here for 15 minutes just reading the quotes.
That's fine.
Oh.
Courage, dear heart, from The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. This one is To Kill a Mockingbird, and the rest of them are coloring sheets, so you can color. This one's from To Kill a Mockingbird. I wanted you to see what real courage is. It's when you know you're licked before you begin, but you begin anyway and see it through no matter what. So it's just lots of like flowers. Then we have one from Jane Eyre. "I am no bird and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will." It's a beautiful bird. And then from Pride and Prejudice, "I could easily forgive his pride if he had not mortified mine." Look at the house and the grounds. Sticking together. There you go. From Sense and Sensibility, "I wish, as everybody else, to be perfectly happy, but like everybody else, it must be in my own way." So, a beautiful back of a woman. From Emma, "Mr. Knightley, if I have not spoken, it is because I am afraid I will awaken myself from this dream." So, beautiful basket of flowers. Almost done. From Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which I happen to be reading right now. "If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals." Is this, I can't remember, is this in reference to how...
I have no idea.
I think it might be in reference to how Draco's dad? Lucius treats his new house elf. I think that's what it may be referencing. And finally, from Little Women, "Be comforted, dear soul. There is always light behind the clouds."
I have that as a 5x7 print.
And so the 5x7 print that we got for free is from Anne Vavenley. "That is one good thing about this world. There are always sure to be more springs." So I'm excited that we got lots of lovely things. She has an amazing shop. If you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. We have quite a few of her prints on our walls, bookmarks. I use when I'm reading physical books from the library, I use Anne of Green Gables bookmark, etc. Okay, so I'm going to open this so that I can show you what I did. I mentioned this when I was talking about going to Madrona. So they had Northwest Yarns, which I have linked in the show notes, had a display, and they had all these cross stitch kits, and they had one displayed, but they had run out of kits, so they made one up for me. So this is the Bollocks cross stitch kit. It came with kind of this creamy, it's a little more yellow cream. That's a little closer. What is this called? Cloth. And it came with these colors, but I decided I want to use different colors. So I went and got 3 different colors. So for the Bollocks part, I'm going to use this dark gray. For the flower part, I'm going to use pink. And for the yellow vine, I'm going to use this green, because that is a lot more my colors. And I picked up just a hoop to do it in. And I think as long as it looks like I'm envisioning, I will just frame it that way. I'll just leave it like that. So this is Northwest Yarns. And they also sent me a sticker. And this, I guess, is like a decal like you could put on the back of a computer or something.
Are you keeping those? Do you like Octopi?
I might keep this one. Do you want this one?
Sure.
There you go.
Thanks.
So, and when I looked on their website, they didn't have the kits up on there, but I believe if you contact them, they would do one for you if you just mention, you know, that you found out about them from the podcast. I also told y'all when I went to Madrona that my friend Janine, who watches the podcast, hi Janine, bought a kit from them that is a pin cushion with a cross stitch top that you do that says stabby stabby, which is quite humorous. So this is going to be my treat to get to do once Waylon's blanket is done. So last week, I'm throwing this in, it's not in the show notes.
Oh.
Last week, I told y'all that I was trying to be more conscious of saying and not saying it. And several of y'all posted and told me that it was actually hysterical for me to like catch myself saying it. And it wasn't a distraction. I guess it felt like a it is not a distraction to me to hear other people say it, but I think like sitting at the computer having to edit out, especially so when we're video conferencing to do the podcast and I'm having to listen through and go back and edit and everything, I guess it just gets stuck in my head. And so that's why it was evident to me. So I will do my best, but I don't want it to be a distraction to y'all for me to be trying to catch myself saying it so that I won't say it. You know what I mean? The one that I catch myself doing when I'm writing, especially when I'm texting, is saying so, like starting a sentence with so, like repeatedly, and it just makes me laugh. Or when I'm like typing on Ravelry boards, saying so repeatedly. Okay, I just thought I'd throw that in there. We got this month's knit crate, and this is a special one this month. Look at this fun tissue paper. Let me see the zigzags. So this is a special one this month because this is a luxury yarn. So because of that, we only got one skein of yarn this month. So this is Knitology by Knit Crate. This is the Knitology Sheen Base, which is 75% merino wool, 15% silk, and 10% cashmere. Fingering weight, 100 grams, 400 yards, 366 meters. The colorway is Titmouse. So it's got this blue and this yellow and this brown and this really pale. Do you want to squeeze it though? You haven't gotten a chance. I know, it's really soft. So since we only got one skein of yarn, they also sent us a zippered project bag that says make something today. unless you're wanting this for something, we may put this in the prize box.
I have plenty of yarn.
Okay. We probably will put these in our prize box. I love how squishy this is, and I love the colors they did. It's just not my colors that I would necessarily knit with. Now, if it had nylon in it, I would probably use it to make the Dr. Hubs socks, because I think he would like that. But anyway, so they also sent us their little magazine. So the...
Ooh, that's nice.
So the other luxury yarn, I guess you could have gotten...
That's the sock yarn.
That is the sock yarn?
It's a sock.
Oh, it is. So the sock yarn is this green. It's really pretty.
The theme for next month is entomology.
Yes. Hold on just 1 second. So this actually, this green reminds me of the stripe the zigzag stripe that I just finished with the Fresco y Seiko colorway. So that is a Superwash Merino Stellina nylon. So next month's theme will be Whisper.
No, that was this month's.
Oh. Okay, I get what you're saying now. This month's theme was Whisper. Sorry.
Next month's will be entomology.
So
the bugs.
Yes. I will show them the back in just a moment. So the patterns this month, first we have a hat called Birdseed by Hannah Thiessen. And it's one size done in a US 3's 3.25 mil needles. And then they have available where you can buy another skein if you want to do a bonus project. So this is the Penelope set. It's a scarf and a headband pattern by Lilia Vanini. Yeah. There's the headband and there's the scarf. And then the crochet pattern is called
Solenoid
by Kendall Timko, done on a USG 4.25 mil hook and a USE 3.5 mil hook. Very pretty shawl. And then the crochet bonus is Bonnie Barker's honeycomb shawl pattern, which takes 2 skeins of the colorway. And then, oh, we got some pop-up shop patterns. There was a pop-up shop apparently where you could get these colorways. And so there's a Magamo shawl, Hibari hat, and Hibari hand warmers that were bonus this month. And then the sock pattern is Triometry by Tracy Seamster. It's really dark. That's why I'm having trouble reading. Which is done on US 2's 2.75 mil needles. Pink Pearl has come back into the room. And it is done, actually, I believe, toe up. Yes. With great big charts. So they're easy to read. And then they also recommended some audio yarn-related podcasts. And they also did a sock pop-up shop with the Frolicking Feet. Oh, wait, no, that's the colorway. Leaf Dance is the pattern. That one right there. And then about the designer. So yes, next month's theme is entomology.
Bugs.
So we have a link in our show notes where you can use the coupon code, all capital letters, Geeky, and then the numbers 20. So Geeky 20 to get 20% off your first order. It will work to discount the first month of a recurring monthly subscription or any of their shop items. So if you would like to get your own Knit Crate box every month, you can go sign up and get a discount on it. And the link tells, or the coupon code tells them that we sent you. So that's awesome that they do that, because we don't pay for this. They send it to us for us to review for y'all. Knit Crate. There you go. Do you have anything you would like to talk about in Yummies while I get a drink of water?
No.
You didn't do anything this past week but study?
No.
You were going to go to a show last week but ran out of time.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right. Pink Pearl is very happy Dammy's home, but also she's like, don't pick me up.
I love her.
I know. I warned her. I was like, you're going to get lots of cuddles. So then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Make Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and you post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. And this month's theme is color. So it's the prompts are either like specific colors or color related prompts such as flamboyant was earlier this week, etc. So what are we about to show them, Dammy?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. So those are our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You look at the prompt for the day. So for example, Friday today that we're recording this, the prompt is neon. Thus me being like, oh, I should wear my neon beast today so I can take a photo and it will work for the photo prompt. So you take a look at the prompt, you interpret it however you wish. We're very tutor friendly on this. And then you post it on Instagram. Make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGK Crafty Pad because that's how we find your photos. And yours might get chosen. If you have a private account on Instagram and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy over here, Dammy's Doodles, is following you or we can't see your photos. So PM her if you need her to follow you. And yes, and the prompt list for April will come out next week. So stay tuned for that. Upcoming events, I'll be attending the Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl that is running from May the 2nd through the 5th. There is a link in the show notes about that. I don't know what day I'm doing it. This is still like a month and a half out. So I'm not sure what day yet that I'm going to be doing it, but I will be participating and going to all the shops and it will be a lot of fun and I can't wait. Do you have any upcoming events you're attending? We're going to attend A Wrinkle in Time together.
That's not until May.
Oh. It's still upcoming. That's May. SPU, where she goes to school, is putting on A Wrinkle in Time. And she's not in it, but her friends are. So I'm going to come see it with her. Okay, well then I guess we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
So I finished reading It Each Time by Arthur Giron. And I had meant to bring home Dracula to read, but I forgot it.
Is it available, like, to download to your phone, to the Kindle app?
I wanted to read the actual book.
Oh. You can read something out of the book that we got you for Christmas.
Yes. I was like, what was Christmas?
Oh, are you going to go in?
Ooh, she's doing it!
Let's see. I will tell you all a funny story. Oh, she's not. So,
Baby.
I told y'all a few weeks, I think a couple weeks, or maybe it was last week I told y'all that, yes, last week I told you about our friend Yuko from Honeyberry Studios coming to visit, and Pink Pearl is as much in love with the paper grocery bag as with the toys that she brought her. And so, she likes to go in.
This is an enormous bag that fits all of her without tearing.
Yes. So she likes to walk straight forward into it and then turn around in it so that she can lay like a croissant. Well,
a castle.
She walked into the bag and started trying to turn around, and the bag with her. And I was like, dadgummit, why didn't I have a video camera going? That was hysterical. I was laughing so hard. It was so funny. She's okay. She was not hurt in the process. It was just so funny. And so ever since then, we've been like, okay, don't fall over going in. So very cute. So you didn't bring home Dracula. You could read something from Jane Austen that we got you for Christmas.
Yes.
Or something else.
Yes. Yeah. Or I could reread all of my papers and cry.
Don't do that. Cry because
I should have brought home my French textbook too, so I could have read it and cried.
Why are you crying?
Because I don't know how I tested into French 3, and I'm afraid I'm gonna fail it.
You're not gonna fail. Why are you crying about your papers?
Because there were a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
Like total, I will have had to do 7 papers from last Friday to this Friday.
That's crazy. But some of them you've been working on for a good chunk of the quarter.
Yeah.
So 7 papers were due in the past week, is what she's saying. This next quarter, you probably will not have very much writing. But you will have math and French.
I hope. I had a friend who had to write a 5-page paper entirely in French. But she's a French major, so.
Yeah. Google Translate.
No.
Oh, okay. That would be my thing. Google Translate. What else are you reading?
The Glass Scientist, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
So, Dammy, I'm assuming that you've been getting your 15 minutes a day in.
I'm trying.
You've been reading a lot of stuff. So, what am I referring to?
Oh, it's still March. January, February, March, RAL, read along.
So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day. It doesn't matter what you're reading. Anything you read counts, including audiobooks. And there's a finish line thread, and we're doing the quarterly read-alongs as well as a year-long challenge with 3 epic grand prizes that we will award January 2020. And even though the first seasonal January, February, March is coming to an end, even if you didn't participate in that, you can jump in April and participate for the rest of the year. You earn entries into the year long by participating in the seasonal, as well as there are 2 bonus point opportunities. So you should be doing that because it's a lot of fun. What I'm reading, I did not read anything in The Road Back to You, the Enneagram book this week. I'm still reading For the Love, Fighting for Grace in a World of Impossible Standards by Jen Hatmaker. I am continuing to reread the 4th book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I'm rereading that along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcasts. And I read this morning the Quidditch World Cup chapter. And I've listened to the Sacred Text podcast of it, but not Swish and Flick yet. So, but I was telling Dammy, I was counting last night, and I think I'm in, I can't remember if that was chapter 8 that I just read. I can't remember if that was chapter 8 that I read or not. But anyway, I think Swish and Flick has done up to chapter 13. And then I will be caught up.
Wow.
We will be watching while Dammy's home.
Fantastic Beasts and where to find them too. The
Crimes of Grindelwald. The Crimes of Grindelwald was in my head. I couldn't remember Fantastic Beasts because there are 4 episodes of Swish and Flick about Crimes of Grindelwald. So I have been saving those to listen to after we watch the movie. They also they went and saw Cursed Child, and they do an epic, like 2.5 hour long episode about it, which I've read. I haven't seen, but I have read, so I will listen to that one soon. And then also I'm reading the In Death series by J.D. Robb. I finished books 13 and 14. I read book 4 of the Magical Cats mystery series by Sophie Kelly, and I'm currently reading book 9 of the Anna Pigeon series by Nevada Barr. This book is about grizzly bears. And now there is a missing person presumed to have been dragged away by the grizzly bear after the grizzly bear attacked their camp.
Oh no.
Yes.
That's bad.
It's very bad. Okay, watching. Let me tell you all that I have watched this last week. A lot. Hallmark movies, watched Love Under the Rainbow and Crossword Mysteries, A Puzzle to Die For.
I'm sorry. You gave me bad joints. No!
I can pop my nose. Grosses her out.
Save me. Pinky, save me.
She's just getting used to you being home after you not being here for a while. She'll come cuddle with you in bed, I know. It will be all right. Okay, I finished watching season 2 of The Sinner, and I believe it's been renewed for a 3rd season. I watched season 1 of The Widow, and I don't know if that was it. I don't know if that was just like, it's like a limited time, or if it will have another season. It had Alex Kingston in it, who is one of my favorites. And yeah, it totally went in a direction I did not expect it to go to. But it was good. So now I'm watching a British TV show called Endeavour.
It has Roger Allam in it.
It does have Roger Allam in it from Cabin Pressure. I started watching it.
I knew about the show before you knew about the show.
Yeah, I started watching the first episode and I saw Roger Allam and I texted Dammy. I was like, guess who's in the show I'm watching? So,
if you just told me, hey, I'm watching Endeavour, I'd been like, I know who's in your show.
At first I was like, I don't understand why it's called Endeavour, but that's
the guy's name.
That's Morse's name. And Roger Allam's character's last name is Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's British, what do you expect?
Yes. So it's set in at least the first 2 series of it are set in like the 1960s, and it's a police procedural show, but they are like 1.5 hour episodes. So there was only 4 in the first 2 seasons. I think one of the future seasons has 6 in it, and they just aired new episodes of it recently. So that is what I am watching. We watched the series 8 finale of Call the Midwife. Watching season 10 of NCIS LA, and then as far as I'm understanding, Kinsey and Deke's wedding is going to be on this week's episode.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I'm excited about that. We watched the second half of the episode, or it was like a 2-parter episode that made up the season 12 finale of Murdoch Mysteries. And Bracken Reed's son wasn't really the murderer.
Of course not, because this is Canada.
So, it was good. Yeah. And then watching season 5 of The Flash. Now then, I wrote a lot of stuff about Supernatural season 14 because I needed to tell you what happened.
I'm not acting anything else.
You ready? For me to tell you. Michael broke out of Dean's mind and convinces Rowena to let him in by threatening everyone she loves. Jack uses the rest of his soul to kill Michael after telling him, I'm the son of Lucifer, I'm a hunter, I'm a Winchester.
Wow.
Then Jack takes Michael's soul and proclaims he is whole again, showing his wings. There's only 6 episodes. There's still 6 episodes left in the season, so I'm questioning if Michael is really dead and how Michael's soul...
Jack is the new villain.
How Michael's soul is going to affect Jack. I have last night's episode ready to watch after we podcast. And then just quickly, season 12 of Big Bang Theory, season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, series 1 of Miss Fisher's Modern Murder Mysteries. I have that as well to watch, and that's the end of series 1. It was 4 1.5-hour episodes. And then I don't think they've said yet if it got picked up for another series. So. And then season 4 of Blind Spot, season 6 of Blacklist, season 4 of Supergirl. James was shot.
I can see that in the show notes.
And he's lying in his floor.
Oh.
Yeah. And then season 6 of When Calls the Heart.
Yikes.
Without going into the whole thing, it is the episode that is supposed to be airing this coming Sunday will not be airing, and Hallmark is trying to make decisions around how to continue the show. They have said they are not canceling the show, but the actions of one of the actors were horrific, and I cannot believe what has exploded this week in regards to bribes and such about people children getting into college. It's sickening. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, since this character is one of the main characters in the show. So we will see how they decide to. They just made that announcement this morning that they're not canceling, but that they need to make some decisions. And season 7 of Arrow, which they've announced that next season will be the last. And I think it's limited. I want to say it's like maybe 10 episode, and it'll be season 8 will be the last season of Arrow. Listening to my favorite murder podcast. So I am so super excited because my favorite murder, Karen and Georgia, they have a podcast network now called Exactly Right. And they have a new show starting at the beginning of April. So excited, called The Murder Squad. So it is going to be co-hosted by the one, the only Paul Holes, who is a retired cold case investigator who was one of the key people in figuring out who the Golden State Killer was and helping him get arrested. He worked for 27 years with the sheriff and district attorney's offices, and yes. So then also Billy Jensen, who is a true crime journalist, and he is one of the people who helped finish writing Michelle McNamara's book called I'll Be Gone in the Dark about the Golden State Killer. So the two of them together, Paul Holes and Billy Jensen, are going to co-host this podcast where they're going to talk about one solved murder each week, as well as a cold case, in the hopes that the audience can help solve the cold case. But there's going to be like rules around it, like you don't just like go start calling people out on social media, things like that. So they're going to talk about that every week and tell us exactly how we can help try to solve cold cases, which is really cool. So I was so excited when they announced that this week that that's going to happen. I also am listening to David Tennant does a podcast with ... this week, Miss Jennifer Garner of Alias fame and lots of other things, but we fell in love with her in Alias. So it was a lot of fun to hear. They talked quite a bit about the effect that paparazzi has had on her and her family's lives, and David talked about it as well, and some of the things that she's been involved in helping protect families of famous people. So that was a really interesting episode to listen to. What have you been listening to?
I listened to Cabin Pressure.
Okay.
I didn't listen to the other thing.
Okay, well, I'll take that off then. So that is everything that we have read, watched, and listened to this week. Don't worry, this next week's episode, Damn, you'll be able to talk about some of the stuff we watched.
Yes.
Because you will actually be here and have the ability to watch. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl.
Yes, so tell us all about it, Dan.
So,
It's already bad before you talk.
I know. So this started on the 1st of March and it runs through the 31st of May. It is for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to spring. There are a couple main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project must have been begun March 1st or later and then finished by the 31st of May. Gosh.
Yeah.
And each project of at least 20 yards that you finished and post in the FO thread counts as one entry. But if your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. You can feel free to polydip in other owls as long as it fits in with the other rules. That's totally fine, including the Great Podcaster Craft Together that is linked in the show notes.
Yes.
There are lots of lovely prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our prize donors. They're so wonderful. If you would like to get closer looks at these photos or see the shops that they came from, you can go to our show notes, geekygirlsknit.com. If you are interested in donating a prize, you can email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com or PM Java Pearl on Ravelry.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you would like to post on social media or tag your projects. It's GGKSpring19. The thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of June, and then winners will be drawn on the next podcast after that. And there's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can encourage each other as you do your projects.
Did you talk about the 30 days?
No. If you're a winner, you have 30 days to claim your prize or you forfeit it.
That's why if you participated in the Winter Owl, you should go watch last week's episode so that if you're a winner, your 30 days doesn't run up. There you go.
There's a chatter thread where you just talk, and that's where I congratulate people who finish projects. I'm so tired. And I also do that here. What
she said is, congratulate people who finish projects. You sounded like, and you also do that here. So, Tammy, who finished projects this week?
DG White, Falling Star 12, Jen Park 248, Jodediah, Knit Central, Knit Princess 83, Little Mermaid, Mystery Sewer, Nicole S, Share 2014, Shirley Knits 123, Silver Luna 2112, Wolf Joy, and Yarn Taxi Driver.
Great job. So keep working on those projects and get them posted. You have about 2.5 months to get your projects done. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right. So what is this week's question, Dammy?
This week's question comes from Sherry, who is Share 2014 from Missouri. I like thumbs up on your YouTube podcast episodes. Do you see who does that, or just that someone has liked the episode that they do? Just curious about how that works. Thanks.
Just like it is on Ravelry, we don't know who does thumbs up or thumbs down. On Ravelry, we don't know who does agree, disagree, educational, interesting,
funny, love.
Funny, love. We don't know. And there is a way to turn off disagree if you don't want to see it on Ravelry.
Yeah.
In your, I think it's in your settings, because I have disagree
and
turned
also
off.
Turn off any of the buttons, really.
Oh, you can turn off any of them?
Yeah, you can choose which buttons you want to see.
Interesting. At one point it was like you could only turn off. Oh yeah. So if you go, if you're on the forums where the groups are, if you just click on settings up there at the top right, it says select your voting buttons and you can choose which ones you want to see. And I have disagree turned off because I don't need that in my life right now. So yes, so we only see that there is a thumbs up or a thumbs down on YouTube. We don't know who did it. Unlike Instagram, where you see if someone loves your photo. So that's how that works. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for the question, Sherry. So
thumbs up.
We give you 2 thumbs up. If we've had a few questions come in after our pleading for questions last week because we'd run out completely, but we are still in need of future questions because I think we only have enough for maybe like 3 more weeks.
Please.
So if you have a question for us, even if it was asked a long time ago, our answers could change. In fact, one of the questions that was asked is one that had been previously asked, but they're curious if our answers have changed over the time. So feel free to ask us anything. We have not refused to answer any of the questions. So any topic, Life, Love, and the Pursuit of Happiness.
Ask Pink a question.
You can ask Pink Pearl a question. She will be happy to come on the podcast and tell you. So I said that this morning to Daddy. Life, Love, and the Pursuit of Happiness. He didn't get it because he doesn't watch Hamilton. Anyway, he has watched Hamilton. We have seen Hamilton, kind of. We've watched YouTubes of it. So
Mama, it's illegal.
It's illegal, but sometimes there's YouTubes of it. So, or we've seen like what they put up. Hamilton puts up stuff sometimes.
Yes.
We do not film it. I know that's bad. I just said a big there. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right. It's very strange to be sitting next to you and doing this.
Thanks.
No, not that you're strange. It just feels weird because usually we're miles apart and water apart. So, all right, let's move on to the next segment. Okay. We made it to the end of the show.
Yes.
Yay! Jazz hands. So, reminder. At the very moment when we're recording this, which is 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday, the whatever day it is today, the 15th of March.
Beware the Ides of March.
There are 4 days, 18 hours, 29 minutes, and 10 seconds till the My Favorite Murder mystery wrap kit pre-orders begin. So let me remind you of this, because pre-orders will have started already and potentially sold out. Because there seems to be a lot of interest in this one before we record again. So let me remind you about the details. So pre-orders start Wednesday, the 20th of March at 9 a.m. Pacific. They will run until Sunday, the 31st of March, or when the kits are sold out. Whichever happens first. Pre-orders will be at javapearldesigns.com. If you are not subscribed to our newsletter, you can go to javapearldesigns.com, and up in the top header, you can click and sign up for the newsletter, because I will send out a newsletter when pre-orders open with the links to both kit options. And if you sign up for our newsletter, you get a free sock pattern. So you should do that. So there are 2 kit options. First is the full kit, which will have 3 skeins of yarn from Suburban Stitcher in her sock base. 2 glass stitch markers from Ann Tudor LLC that are so freaking adorable. I'm so excited for that. A t-shirt from my friend Amanda at Nerdy Knits and Design, and I cannot wait to get mine. It's so amazing. And the mystery wrap pattern from me. It will be $125 US plus shipping. The smaller kit has everything except the t-shirt, and that is $100 plus shipping. 20% of the proceeds will be donated to In the Backlog. And the individual pattern will be available in May. And the first clue for the mystery wrap is going to release on Saturday, the 25th of May. This is a 4 to 6 week pre-order. So from the time the pre-orders close, the kits will ship no later than Sunday, the 12th of May. I am willing to ship wherever. When the pre-orders open, you'll have the availability, if you're in the US or the UK, to order immediately through that. If you're in another country, all you need to do is at 9 o'clock or after on next Wednesday, once the pre-orders start, email me, full name, mailing address with postal code, and whether you want the full kit or the small kit, and I will find out how much the shipping is, and then I will send you a PayPal invoice to pay for it. And that'll be how you'll order if you are not in the US or the UK, where there is standard rates for both of those.
Even Canada?
Yes, because it's different wherever you are in Canada. So that's why I only can guarantee US and UK. And all sales are final. The wrap pattern, let me just tell you kind of my process, what inspired me. So just as Georgia and Karen tell us stories each week, the wrap pattern tells stories inspired by quotes from the podcast. It's a combination of texture, lace, and cables. My testers are knitting the second clue right now, and it's going amazingly. And I just cannot wait to start releasing it to y'all. Because it is a very large wrap project, taking 3 full skeins of sock weight yarn, there will be a little more time between when the clues are released so that you have enough time to knit the clues, because there are 5 clues that make up the entirety of the wrap. So if you have any questions, feel free to PM me, send me a message on Ravelry, email us, whatever. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. If you are not in the US or the UK and you would like to know how much shipping would be, you can go ahead and email me and let me know that you just want to know what the shipping cost would be, and I'm happy to figure that for you. And then you can email me and I will send your invoice once pre-orders start next Wednesday. Did I tell them everything about the kit?
Yeah.
Yes. Do we have any other announcements?
I don't think so.
Dammy's home. That is the announcement.
Oh.
I am so happy Dammy is home. I missed you.
Thanks.
Did you miss me too?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But now you're home and I'm so happy. And you're so tired. But you have to finish 2 papers before bed. You can do it. So we're going to finish up this podcast. And be able to finish both papers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could finish one, take a nap, and then edit the other.
Okay. You have to do Geeky Crafty Pad picks first. Okay. So, Dammy, we are extremely grateful to everyone who supports the podcast. No matter if it's just watching, if it's commenting on social media, or commenting in the Ravelry threads, giving us a thumbs up, hitting the love button, etc., participating in owls, etc. But we have a huge thank you and a lot of love to those of you who support us financially, because unfortunately it does cost money to do a podcast. For example, all those prizes that I shipped out this week, that was money. So there are 3 main ways. I keep forgetting I want to do 3 this way or 3 this way, but that's not right. It's 3 this way. There are 3 ways you can support the podcast financially. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. So if people would like to know more about it or want to sign up, where should they go, Dammy?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
That's right. And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you go to our website and either in the sidebar or at the bottom of each episode's show notes, there are images and links to Amazon, and you choose the appropriate one, and then you do your shopping, and Amazon gives us a little money back based on what you purchased. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you were going to do anyway. So, with that, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsknit.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest. Well, the week's almost over. We hope you have a lovely weekend. And we will be back next week sitting on this couch together recording the next episode. So until then, happy knitting. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
This is my kitty cat. This is her kitty pat. It goes pat, pat, pat.
Where is that from?
It's just a video.
On the YouTubes.
Can you do the Macarena? What comes next?
I don't know.
The head. Hips. Hey, Macarena.
Bye, Pinky. She's behind your head. Bye, Pinky. Bye, Dammy.